Hello and welcome to Sembang episode 5. Hello everyone. Yep, I'm Kimberly, your host for today's session. And let's see if anyone actually me right now. I can see there are 6 people actually watching. So could you just say hi in a comment or say yay morning or something like that? Thank you for joining us early this morning. Yeah, could you type in something like I'm sure early morning Saturday some more, and yeah, we are really excited. Meanwhile, we will appreciate if you can help us to actually share this Facebook page, or if you are watching from YouTube, please help us to share this out to your friend, this live session, so that probably they can learn something benefit. Yes, later today we're gonna discuss about something interesting about how we can actually manage food waste. Not to say food waste, but our food in our daily life. I'm sure everyone loves food, especially those of you who are from Penang. I mean, whether you're from Penang or not, from all over the place, I'm sure you guys are also love food, right? Yes. So today we're gonna look into how we can properly manage food so that it doesn't go bad easily, or it doesn't uh, go into the landfill that easily. Yeah. Hi, good morning. Someone say hi from Dato On, and hi from Fern morning. So yes, please help us to share this session out to your friend. Okay. We are currently live on Facebook and also YouTube. Okay. So of course, we welcome more and more people to actually share your comments, your feedback, and your experience with us later as we share along. And yes, as you can see, in the chat itself, we actually have this newsletter QR code and also the link. You can feel free to scan this QR code or even click the link in the chat in the comment area. So if you would like to subscribe to our newsletter and find out more about our future session future session, so you can just from there subscribe. Okay. Hi, Antio. Sing Antio. Yeah, you are already excited to share. He's already excited to share. Yep. Yeah, feel free to, keep your comment coming in, and then we will exchange different ideas and we will learn together. Okay. So yes, once again, to those of you who are just joining us right now, I'm Kimberly, your host for today's session. So you can see my name there. And yeah, probably just give a little bit of overview about what Sembang all about. This is actually the 5th episode we are streaming live on Facebook and also YouTube this year. And basically, this Sembang is about an online session where we will invite different people from different backgrounds to actually discuss various environmental issues. So yes, anything that is related to our life. It doesn't mean that we have to discuss about biodiversity and everything, but environmental issue could be something related closely to our life, like food, even water that we need every day. Okay, so yes, and previously we have been discussing different topics like urban farming. We have discussed about how to actually kickstart your own sustainable business, and how to manage your waste properly. Today we are going to look into something more interesting. Okay, food waste. Okay, food, I would say, like as in for all. So yes, in today's episode, that's what we're going to discuss on this topic. Feed yourself, not the bean. A lot of time we waste all the food and then end up we didn't realize that we feed the bean more than we feed ourselves. So today we are going to look things around, like how does this actually happen, and where does it go wrong. Okay, so while waiting for the rest to join, I would like to hear some thought from the audience on this topic. Okay, to those of you who are watching live with us right now, if you are the one who love eating but not cooking, please comment yummy. Please comment yummy. If you prefer to eat more than cook, please just type in comment yummy. And if you prefer to actually you love cooking but not eating, then please type in dummy. Okay, so this is just to have fun lah. But I myself actually is dummy. So yes, oh sorry, I'm yummy, not dummy. Yeah, I love to cook but not I love to eat but not cook. Yes. And hi, Aiki, and yes, thank you, Theo, for actually sharing such a good idea there. Buy discount veggie stuff that you don't consumed can be decomposed. Yes, we definitely love to hear more from you later. Aiki say she loves both. Yeah, probably we have people who love both as well. Probably this people belongs to Dummy and Yummy, so cannot decide. No worries, no worries. Of course, we have different people with different option, different preference. So it's open. We just want to hear hear if there is anyone who actually loves to cook but doesn't love to eat. Or someone who loves to eat but not cooking. So yes, we also have Paywan saying that Yummy and Dummy. So probably it's both of she loves to cook and she doesn't love to eat. Both, I would say, love to cook and love to eat. Okay, that's also good. All right, so just a quick run through while just keep your answer pouring in, and a quick run through on today's episode. We will kick off the session by having a casual sembang with our first guest, who will be sharing on the tips on how she actually saved food from being wasted and turned into something delicious, or the treat or a snack. So I'm also excited to learn from her. And after this casual sembang session, we will have an input sharing session by our guest from Green Hero to learn more of the shocking facts, or more of the facts about food waste. What's happening out there? Is it really that serious? So that's where we'll learn more from him. And most of you might not think that food waste will actually affect us in some way. I mean, we don't really go to our dustbin and every time we go and look, how many food waste do we actually throw every day? So we don't really do that. But perhaps this is something that we should think again. Okay, if you are somewhere near a dustbin, maybe you can have a look. Maybe it's still early in the morning, but towards the end of the day, I'm sure right now most of us prefer to tapao back home and buy back, So probably or even most of us prefer to cook at home right now. It's more healthy and we don't really have to go out. So that's where you can actually, towards the end of the day, you can have a look at your bin. So yes, even in Penang or globally, food waste it's a bigger issue than most of the people actually think and know. Okay, and throwing this edible food away doesn't just waste money. We don't really realize how much money we actually waste by throwing food away. And all this food waste will end up in the landfill, which will also produce a lot of this greenhouse gas, like one of this methane gas. And this, sadly to say, this methane gas is actually the second most common greenhouse gas that it's causing our world to warm up, causing the global warming and climate change and everything. So in other words, throwing out food actually contributes to this climate change as a big picture. It's just that we didn't realize how it actually linked from food until global warming, like how the global issue thing. Yes, of course. So today, this is what we're going to look into this topic and how it actually affects not only us, but the surrounding. Okay. So in today's Sembang, we are very glad to invite someone who actually loves our environment and also loves cooking at the same time. So if you are familiar with her, if you have known her previously, probably you subscribe to her YouTube or Facebook before, it won't be hard for you to see how much she loves cooking and enjoy cooking. So yeah, it's a really unique combination and how she put these two elements together. So yes, today she will be sharing with us some of the practical tips in a way that how she minimized food waste by preserving them well and turn them into delicious meal. Okay, so I'm definitely excited to learn more from her. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce our first guest of the day for this Sembang session. Okay, casual Sembang session, I would say. So a little prelude about our first guest. Basically, she's a graduate of University Science Malaysia with an environmental technology background. Something interesting. And driven by her passion for the environment, she actually collaborate with Wonder Wilder Farm. I'm sure most of you have, some of you might have heard before. And that's where they kickstart this program called Farm to Plate Malaysia. So you can search out on Facebook, you can probably still find. So this program mainly is to educate public on cooking and also consuming locally. Okay. And she would host cooking workshop for kids and adult at the local organic farm market and also a local organic farm. So in year 2016, this is where she additionally commenced making her own handmade soap from natural ingredient. So that's I happened to buy a few soap before from her, and it's really nice. I'm still using it right now. And from selling homemade soap to gradually growing into a local small business, she commenced her own physical store named Naked Farm, with the hope that more educational knowledge could be spread among the public through the practice of going zero waste. So currently, she's a homemaker and she enjoys cooking for her loved one. So how amazing is that, right? And yes, with that, let us welcome our first guest of the day. Hi, Pechi.
Hello. Hi, Kimberly
Hi.
and friends. Hello.
Hello, Peichin. So good to have you with us. Yeah, do you want to say a few words to our audience, perhaps, who are watching live with us? Maybe just if you want to add on any, introduce. Maybe some of the audience you might have known them before. I think Fun previously also mentioned a lot about you, about your soap. Both of us are a fan
Um,
of your soap. Yes,
uh,
yes, correct. So yeah, do you have anything to talk to our audience or share with our audience?
no.
Okay, just start to warm up, right? Because I believe our audience will start to warm up. Sing Antio also she has been talking and sharing a lot of good points there. Maybe we can, from time to time look through and exchange. I think he's really very excited to share about his tips and how he practice. Probably we should invite you next time, Sing An. Okay. So yes, do PM us later. Yes, and Pei Chin, maybe for those of you who are watching live with us, if you have any question, feel free to just type it in the chat, or you can do like Sing An, actually type in your tips on how you actually practice in your daily life, just to share with the rest. I believe everyone can be benefited from that. So we love to hear from all of you. So just type it in. Hi, Trish, and yes. Maybe we just jump into the first question, Peichin. Are you ready? It's
Yeah, yes.
yeah, I believe probably because the line problem's a bit slow when it passed over there. So no worries, take your time. I'll start to speak slower, and the rest you can join me. Okay. So yes, Peichin, um,
Hmm.
when we talk about this food waste issue and we start to look around, like how did food waste actually come about? That is the question that usually strike into my head. Like, I'll finish up by food. Where does the food waste actually come from, even in restaurant? So after that, I realized and reflect and realized that food waste is actually a byproduct of different activity that have good intention around them. Why did I say so? Like, for example, often during time like this, right? I believe now the border is open. Everyone is eager to go back to balik kampung to visit the family, right?
Hmm.
So the
Yeah.
first thing that they go back and visit family, this is what family will usually do for you. They would like to welcome you with warm food, with generous food amount of food, the hometown food. So that's where
Hmm.
you would like to feed your family with more food, and probably your mom would like to cook something new for you, some new recipe that she has learned, and eventually she cook more so that you can have enough, after so many months that you didn't get to eat. Or even throwing a party like this time, I believe now we can have small gathering, so we would like to have some party just to gather around. So this all these occasions are the one that usually lead us to like wasting, or not to say wasting, like cooking more than what we need, right? These are the occasion that somehow we will cook more than what we need. So and coming from a small family with small appetite, we don't really eat a lot. So it's, preparing food has been considered a headache for us, and like we want to cook more, end up wasting more, and we cook less, then end up we don't have enough food to eat. So in this case, Beijing, do you have any
Hmm.
great tips to share with people like us that coming from a small family? How can we reduce food waste in meal preparation? Like, how can we reduce that? Like, not end up cooking too much of food.
For me, I'm sharing my experience. if we try to cook, adjust the amount, lor, it's really need to
Portion
be
control, right?
organized well lah. So how much you cook and you should finish it, especially vegetables. If we keep it overnight,
It's
it
not nice
also
anymore.
doesn't taste good, and some might say, especially the
It's not healthy.
vegetables, it might get uh,
Spoiled.
uh, it might uh, get cancer if you eat too much of overnight veggie.
Absolutely.
However, like something like chicken curry, we usually cook a big pot, and to keep it like overnight, or it's like 2 or 3 days. You can also
Yep.
frozen it, and surprisingly, it tastes even tastier if you keep it
Really? Yeah, soup
similar like
especially, is it?
chicken curry,
Soup, curry,
those marinated
chicken.
things with soy sauce one, that types of dishes. If you keep it like overnight, like especially the vinegar, because
Yep.
I'm talking about a Chinese cooking lah. So in
Yep.
Chinese, we do have a type of dishes like you marinate meat with uh, vinegar. So that kinds
Soy
of
sauce.
food you can keep, you can cook for like big gathering. So in case you really cannot finish it, you still
You can
can
still
put
keep.
in a freezer, and like two or
Ah,
three days is still good.
yeah, I think that's a
So
good tips.
something about my tips lah.
Yeah, that's a good tips, which means that if you are preparing, let's say for a party, or like you would like to prepare for a bigger portion, like, or even for more people, which you haven't really gauged the portion control, it will be good if you can control your portion according. So probably we need a little bit of try and error from time to time. Like depends on
Yes.
our appetite. You have change from time to time. Like, then we gauge around it, and then we prepare the portion. If really cannot, prepare something that we can keep for the next day, and it still tastes
Mm,
good. Is it?
yeah,
Wow. Yep.
it's an experience, an experiment cooking. Just enjoy it, nothing's wrong. Yeah.
Yes, totally agree. Having said that, I think there's a question from New Love Key asking, usually do you have the habit of planning your meal before purchasing this ingredient? Having to think of like now today what I want to cook. Do you actually have the habit of practicing that, or you just instantly today, I want to cook this, so you just get it?
Hi, New Love Key. Actually, I do not have the habit of planning my meal actually, because
Mm,
usually, if let's say, if you try to plan your meal, right,
yes.
probably if you go to the markets, maybe like at home, or you already think, oh, I want
What do
to
you
cook
want?
this, cook that, but then when you go to the markets, and they don't
Yep.
have, so normally I will see, I order my veggie pack from someone else, and then if I go to market, I only see those produce in season, and they look fresh to me, and then from there I plan my meal. Actually, I wouldn't plan ahead at
Ahead lah.
home, in fact,
I
because
see.
definitely you will miss maybe one or two ingredients. Oh, the market don't have, then and it's
Yes.
yeah.
I think
Just
that's the differences. Correct. Be creative, like what New Love say. Is it?
and more
Like,
like eat seasonally, like you see what is the fresh in the market, then you can buy. But some
mm,
ingredients probably you already blend, but then in the market is not fresh. Then will you still buy? Then if you buy, then another ways as well, right?
mm-hmm.
That's
So yeah,
lesson.
absolutely. There are different season, right? Like different season have different veggie in the market. So it depends. Like even if you plan today want to get jagong, but chun today don't have jagong, then you have to figure out something. So I would say that's the how to say that's the differences between both of us, because I'm not really good at cooking, so I cannot randomly come out with a new recipe. Oh, I have this, then I'll cook this. So end up it will be a disaster. But still, yeah, not like Peijing. Peijing, you love cooking and you have a great idea. So yes, I would say it suits different people's style, right? If you
Yeah.
are really confident in your cooking, yeah. Although I'm not good at cooking, but I'm confident in my cooking, so I'll just put everything inside. Yes, and yeah, probably it will turn out to be something good also. So in a way, it's so if you feel like you need to plan ahead, then I think it's also good. It helps to reduce waste. But if you're confident, you can actually gauge like roughly what's the veggie that you need and how much do you need. You don't really have to get too much or too many more than what you need lah. Is that true? Yes, yes. So yes, usually what I will usually practice from my end is that, of course, serving the portion control is what usually I would share from my mom perspective lah. My mom practice lah. She will usually gauge the portion control. Like she will ask us beforehand, like, today, do you guys feel like eating a lot? Then we all will give her the response like, oh no lah, just a few. We are not very keen on eating rice today, so maybe you don't cook too much. So that's where she will start to gauge the portion. And of course, like what Beijing shared, we will try to get the food that's able to keep for the next day, so that we can still eat, like reheat it and eat it next day. So in a way, we try to get the food that can last lah, not the veggie. Veggie we usually finish up on the same day
Yeah.
lah. Yeah.
Yes.
So veggie will get less because we have to finish on the day. Then we have to get less. Usually, that's where we cook. Then for chicken, if we can last longer or those marinated thing can last longer, then we will cook slightly more. Yeah. Then we can keep for the next day. Yes. And yeah, do you have any like any additional tips that you want to add on, Peijin? I'm sure there are some questions there also.
About the cutting the food waste, right?
Yes, like how to reduce food waste, especially in the meal preparation. That was very headache one. Every time, like how to gauge. It's a probably challenge for newbie like us.
I also get my veggie uh, how to say a kind more like a direct from the farmers, and then it's a veggie pack, so they were packed in a carton, so you also reduce the plastic. And if you go to market, then you can try to bring your own basket, or bring your reused plastic bag, so you can also reduce the packaging. Yeah.
Is that something like that?
Something like that. So this is the carton veggie pack, vegetable pack that I bought. Then it's totally no plastic. And then after
No
I
you.
bought it from the seller, then I put in a container. And like this one is a 2 kg veggie. We actually don't know what variety the farmer will give, because they give us what they plant and what they harvest. So then
Wow.
we put in a container. It usually can last keep for 2 weeks maximum. Huh.
Ooh, definitely this is
Because
something that I have learned from you. How
before
to keep
that,
it long.
if you every day cook at home, like for me, 2 person, me and my husband, 2 kg, we can finish it in a week actually. But right now, sometimes because we go outside tapao, so
Dine out.
normally
Dine in.
then we less cooking, then it can last for 2 weeks.
I
And
see.
also,
Always have that.
surprisingly, this my own observation, that I felt, I observed that organic vegetable actually they last longer. There seems
Surprisingly.
life force is quite strong. So like for 2 weeks, all my this veggie it still looks good. Huh?
Wow. Okay. That's something probably we will jump right into after this, like how to actually preserve, because usually we have problem or have trouble preserving vegetables because they don't really
Yes.
last long. Correct. So yeah, and probably we can explore a little bit more about that, how we can
Okay.
actually preserve vegetables, because like for those of you who are cooking at home, I think you all can relate like to this, having too much of a certain ingredient. Like for example, you have vegetable, you all like vegetable, but vegetable usually are the one who like will go bad faster than what we can use up. Like after the next day you realize it's already not looking nice. And yes, how to actually preserve, perhaps Peichin, you can share with us how,
Okay.
yeah, like especially fruit as well, not only vegetable, fruits also, how can we usually preserve it so that it can last longer,
Um,
like before we even use it, it can still.
Okay, I share two of my recent experience. Like this last week, the veggie pack that come with two two napa cabbage and a lots of carrots. So in fact, I can't finish it. So just lately, I make it into kimchi. I'm going to show
Wow,
you.
kimchi,
It's
kimchi is so expensive out there if you
organic.
want to buy.
It's from the veggie pack. So can you see this is the kimchi that I made? Uh, it's just now the photo, right? The napa cabbage and also carrots.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
maybe I zoom you in.
right? Like this kimchi, it can last me like 2 months or 3 months, no problem. It's
Ah,
still good, and then you can make a lot of things.
so
You can not only stir fry the vegetable, so in the way that we make it into kimchi, you can make kimchi fried rice, kimchi soup. What else?
nice.
The very famous one, the kimchi army stew
uh
soup. That one.
wow. Yes, already people
Lots of
asking for the
things.
recipe, Beijing.
And then
I
you
think
can
all this you can
use this
find
as a
on your
side
YouTube.
dish.
They
So
can
don't
find on your
just
YouTube.
see just a vegetable, and we can actually play a
Yes.
lot with it.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, people
Then
are actually asking for recipe. So, Peijin, I'm not sure if we log on to your YouTube, Facebook, can we actually get the recipe from there?
oh yes, can. I'm
Wow.
still editing the kimchi, the way that I make kimchi, but
Mm.
still not yet released yet.
So
You
please do
can
check
find
it
it
out.
other of my recipe. And then
Ah,
just now, there are
hmm?
someone asking about fruit, right? Fruit.
Yes. Yeah, how to keep
Oh,
your food fresh.
local fruits. Okay. I'm not sure is lemon is considered as fruit
Yeah,
or
yeah, lemon is
vegetable.
fruit. Lemon is
Of
fruit.
food. Okay, so this also my experience. So recently, our local farmers have a
Drop
lots
down,
of
drop down.
produce of the lemon. So they send me 1
Honey
kg
lemon?
lor. Uh,
Wow.
this one I made into honey lemon. So by the time all 1 kg of lemon is all ripened, and then if we put
Just
compost
leave it
also
there.
wasted because this
Correct.
is very good, especially
It's
this pandemic.
local produce.
Eating honey lemon is good. So then
Yes.
the ripened lemon, then I make it marinate it with canned sugar, just canned sugar, and you slice it. That's it. And then I think it can last for maybe 6 months. Also, not problem because canned
It's
sugar is a natural preservative. Yeah.
wow.
So
That's
something
really
like
good
that,
idea.
it can keep stop lemon from
6 months.
go to
Food.
huh?
Yes, 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 definitely. And yeah, probably I would, yeah. Like for example, I usually my house never run out of banana during this period of
Oh,
time. Oh my god. Like,
you are fortunate.
banana. Correct. So maybe I'll share like my practice of preserving banana, but of course not like few months, like you have to still eat in few days. But banana wise, I realized that on internet it says that you put the banana like facing up with this thing, face down. It actually can last longer as compared to you make it lie down like that.
Oh,
Yes, because this one, the stand here, it's where it will release some sort of gas. So somebody even wrap it up, wrap up with a piece of paper or something like that, just to prevent it from getting spoiled easily or faster. So of course, sometimes when there are too much banana where for us to finish to the point that we have to freeze, put inside the refrigerator for a few days, and now we get out, when we get the banana out, it's like black in color. But somehow it's still edible. It's just that the color changed a bit. So of course, if you don't feel like eating with the black banana, probably you can make into something delicious, like delicious pancake, something that you won't see directly the skin, and yeah, if you are afraid of looking at that, or even you can make delicious smoothie lah. I would say you can experiment around and see if you have different recipe where you can be creative on that. And also, I've also looked up on internet, and some of them actually say that there are certain fruit cannot mix together. Like for example, apple or even mango, avocado. This kind of things will actually release some sort of gas. And when they release some sort of gas, it will actually cause different foods to actually become faster, So end up they will become spoiled because I'm not sure. Like probably you can explore around, but from what I know, it's that when you put avocado with the rest of the fruit around, that's where usually I realize a lot of food gets spoiled easily. Like it get wrapped easily. So that's why. So it's best that you put them separately. You store them separately. Some of the food is good to put inside refrigerator. Some of the food is good to put outside, right? So I'm not sure. Is there any food that you would usually put inside the fridge, and any food that you will usually put in the outside of the fridge, Peijin?
Like onion, garlic.
Put outside the
I
fridge,
put
right?
outside. What else?
Vegetables or maybe
Vegetables.
pear. Fruits, berry usually is better to store inside the fridge, right?
Fruit. Yes. Usually I also store in fridge. Yeah.
I see. And there is this tip where they actually suggest that we can put the whole, like if you want to keep our carrot fresh, we can actually put the carrot inside a glass bottle of water, like we submerge it in. Is that true? That how it actually can keep the thing fresh? I think Peijin
Hello, I can't hear.
can't hear. No,
What's
Peijin,
your question?
I was just asking. Can you hear me now?
Sorry, I stopped my cam.
Yeah.
What are you talking?
Can you hear me now, Peijin?
Yes, can.
Okay, no problem. I think the line suddenly break. No worries. So I was just asking, like I seen it somewhere else where they actually said that carrot you can submerge inside a glass of water and keep inside the fridge, and it can last very long. Is that true? Have you actually tried that out before?
Carrot submerged in water. No.
Something new, probably like to our audience, probably something that you can experience. Like I think Seng An also say banana they will usually mix with oats, soggy banana, mix oat and then let it sit inside the fridge. And that's interesting, something interesting. Yeah, that's something new recipe you can explore. And I think Trish also suggests something interesting. Banana peels. How are we going to do? What are we going to do with the food scrap? Okay, so that's what we're going into next for the next question. So yes, there are times where after we use the produce and end up we throw out the things that we don't need. Like for example, vegetable peels, carrot tops, or base of the celery, broccoli, or cauliflower steam. So or even banana skin. So some of them all of them will end up in the trash bin. So we're just wondering, Peijin, so how do you have any ideas or any tips to share on how we can do with our food scrap from cooking? Like what Trish has suggested, banana peel for soy, maybe compost. How about the rest? What will you usually do?
I think for me, I more or less like other people. I also compose it. All of my food waste. I send it because I staying at the apartment. So I will send it to my friends who stay landed, and they do some home gardening, and their house
I
is
see,
quite
I
nearby
see.
from me. I
Compose
think
it lah.
whatever we have and we add and those fruit peel all sent to the back to the soil. They come from soil and back to the soil.
I see. So yes, composting is definitely the most effective way, I would say, to handle the food scrap. So in a way, it also helps to fertilize the soil. But of
Yeah.
course, if we are looking through like some of there are also some amazing tips on how we can actually use this, let's say, food skin. Like for my side, my mom actually explore and try it out, and it actually works by using this citrus fruit skin, the orange fruit skin, to actually wash off those oily plates.
Oh,
Yes, or you have let's say you tap on something oily, and it's very hard for us to wash away in a plastic container, right? Unless we put hot water, but it's not good to put hot water in a plastic container. So what we will usually do is we will take the orange fruit skin, we don't throw it away after we eat, then we will just wipe the layer of oil stain on the plastic container or even on a bowl, you know. And it actually works well, in a sense that it directly just absorb the oil stain, and then yes, and I can just easily rinse off the whole plastic container. So
yeah,
of course,
orange.
then you can control. Yep. Peijin?
Yeah, and orange peel, I also use it to make enzyme. And then
Yes,
after 3 months, you can harvest the enzyme and use it for like mopping floor or wash
yep,
a toilet floor. It's
yep.
the
That's
effect,
interesting.
cleaning effect is quite surprisingly
Yes,
quite
of course.
strong.
I think nowadays we can easily search for the tips on or the steps on how you can make your own enzyme by using food skin. So you can
Mm.
look up on
My
internet.
ratio I using 1:3:10. One
One, three,
means
ten.
one part of the molasses, and then three
Mm-hmm.
is the three parts of the fruits peel, like citrus peel, and 10 part is the water.
Do you have any videos to show how on you actually make this
Video,
enzyme?
video I don't have, but if you guys search YouTube, you have. Yeah.
Yep. So yes, like I say, you can find from YouTube. But if you are interested, to learn from Beijing, maybe you can just PM down there and say that you're interested to hear from Beijing. Then probably if there are enough requests, then yes. So Beijing, I think there are a question from Sing An asking, is kombucha fruit based?
Oh, because I'm not familiar with.
Kombucha.
Kampucha, is it a drink?
Yes, it's actually a drink.
Oh, fruit
So yeah,
based.
actually I have friend making kombucha as well. So
Wow.
yes, it mixed with tea, a little bit of tea, and then
Mm,
some fruit as well. So they have different flavor like mango fruits, or they
mm,
have pineapple, a lot of amazing food. Yes. So it's, I would say, half
mm.
half lah. But of course I don't know what's the
Oh,
ratio, and it probably they have
uh,
other ingredients lah. But
for
yes.
kombucha, I'm not so familiar, but I think if you're putting fruit, then it's a fruit based. But I see some people they only using a tea without any fruit, tea and
Yeah, depends
sugar.
on the flavor what you want to make, right?
Yeah, yes.
Correct.
Mm.
All right. Oh, that's really a very, how to say, interactive session. We also have a lot of good tips from the audience and also from Peijin. And yes, please, yeah, keep your comment and then your suggestion coming in, and I'm sure the rest of the audience can be benefited from it. Even I myself probably gonna learn some of the new tips here already. So with that, yeah, that's sort of like we are coming to an end for this live interview. But don't worry, the next session is where we're gonna learn more about our guests. Gonna understand more about our guest Peijin. So we have next up this rapid fire session. Woohoo! And this is how it works. So basically, I will be asking some question to you, Peijin, And
Okay.
the question will start with would you rather. Of course, to our audience, you're welcome to join us in the question, this rapid fire session as well. So the question will start with would you rather, and there will be two options in each question. Okay, so you have to choose. So you can tell us your choice within 5 seconds. So I will count down. When I read out the question, you have to let us know why you choose the option and why. Yeah, so probably you can elaborate a little bit. So to our audience, you're welcome to join us. All right. So yeah, maybe I get the first one. Are you ready, Peichin?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the first question, here we go. Would you rather never eat rice or noodle again? So between rice and noodle, which one would you choose? So let's count
I
out.
will
Five,
choose
four.
noodle.
You will choose
No.
noodle. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
noodle lover, I would say. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So perhaps would you like to elaborate further? Like, why would you choose noodle, Peichin? And the rest of the audience, which one would you choose, rice or noodle? Why do you choose
The,
noodle?
okay. It's never eat noodles, right? So which means
Yeah. If
I
you choose
like
like
rice.
correct,
I'm rice
correct.
lover, in fact, right?
Never. Would you choose never eat? No, no. I
Uh-huh.
mean, as in, would you rather never eat? That means forever. After that, you will never eat rice already. So you choose noodle. Oh. Yeah, correct. So you prefer rice. Sorry, I
So
still haven't wake
I
up.
love rice. I don't know. Rice is a staple food to me.
Oh, it's like something a must. Like every meal, you also have to have rice on your table. Is it?
Yes, at least one meal
Mm,
in a day.
I see.
It can
I
be
used to love rice
porridge
like that
or
also.
uh,
I think there's something, how to say, addictive inside the rice. When you start eating, then you can't really stop.
I
And
feel
then
it's filling. No?
it's
Sometimes
filling lah.
if you eat noodles, maybe not full, but
Yeah,
rice yes.
I see. I mean, and of course, like we have like I think there are some people who cannot choose. They love both rice and noodle. And then I think Trish also say choose noodle cause not fattening. Haha. High five, Trish. Yeah, I have been switching to noodle nowadays lah. Also, yeah, sort of like I love noodle as well lah compared to rice right now. And Sing An say he actually love rice just like you. Ah,
Mm.
so yes, I believe different people have different preference, and yes, it's amazing to hear. And I believe like people like you, Peichin, you make good food, good dish. I believe I will fall in love with
Thank
rice
you.
after eating your dish as well. So okay, let's go into the next question. So here we go. The next question: would you rather eating out or cooking at home? Or
Cooking at home.
would you rather you prefer cook at home rather than
Yeah,
go out?
yes. Mm.
Okay. Because
Some
yeah. Would you like to elaborate maybe?
uh, if you starting cook at home
Yeah,
a
yeah.
long time, like maybe 2 weeks, then you occasionally go out eat, then I don't know, you will feel tired or less energy. Then you will come back to cook again. I don't know. It's just home cooked food is how to say, it has a beauty in it. I would say.
I see.
Yeah.
Definitely with all the
Once
love and stuff.
yeah, we
Yes,
all
yes.
love like our mother's cooking or grandmother's cooking, right? So
Correct,
yeah,
correct.
I would rather cook at home
I
because it's
see.
just delicious.
Yeah, someone say cooking is a healing process and then save money too. Yeah, I couldn't
The
agree
most
more with
important
that.
things
Correct.
is also healthy lah, for me.
I see. Yes, yes. Then you can control the sugar level and the salt and everything. So now that it's according to Trish also prefer to eat at home. Yes. Yeah. I would say nowadays after MCO, yes, I prefer to eat at home. But before that, most of the time we will prefer to dine out. Dine in, sorry. Like outside, we would probably tapao and eat outside.
Mm.
Correct, correct. So, like I say, I'm not really good at cooking. Whatever I cook, it doesn't really looks good, and I prefer eat out. So yes, and probably this is something that we have to learn. Learn cooking, and yeah, you can find more good recipe from Peijin YouTube and Facebook page.
Oh,
And
thank
yes,
you.
perhaps this is where you can kickstart. Okay, so here we go. The next one, Peijin.
Okay.
Would you rather shopping on a weekly basis or a daily basis?
Weekly.
Weekly, you prefer weekly.
Actually, sometimes I do shopping monthly.
Monthly. Oh, that means you prefer one time like buy all instead of like buy
Not
a bit.
really like if fresh produce definitely is weekly lah. Huh. But
Mm-hmm.
in fact I seldom go to supermarkets.
Ah, I see. Because most of it is you buy from the supermarket, is it? Like from the
Or
sorry,
market like local
organic market,
pasar,
local.
those fresh
Ah,
one like pasar or from uh the
I
veggie
see.
seller like that.
I see. I see. Someone say weekly is fine. Shopping is also a healing process. I
Yeah,
believe the person needs, has
yeah,
been
yes, yes.
probably having undergo a lot of stress. So probably to them, shopping is also healing and cooking is also healing. Glad that he should find something healing for her. And
Actually, I
yes,
can't imagine daily.
someone
How
say
do
he
you
shops
go daily?
daily. Yes, yes. Actually, for me, my case wise, I also shop daily lah. Like
Oh,
consider like like I say from
mm,
family or like small family, we don't know what to cook. When we want to cook, we will usually buy a little bit just to enough for making a meal for like that day
mm,
lah. We won't store until a few days because most of the time it will spoil the veggie. So
mm.
and when we buy small portion, it's very expensive, Like maybe
Oh, yeah.
we buy one carrot, it's like already how much already? A few
Mm.
veggie more add up like few dollars already, like few ringgit. So it's very expensive. Of course, shopping
Like,
weekly it's better.
if you see the veggie pack that I bought lah, for 1 week,
Yes.
33 ringgit. I think it's quite
Oh,
okay. Huh?
yes,
33.
definitely. Correct. And yeah, perhaps Peijin, would you mind sharing with us where do you usually get this organic veggie from? Maybe the rest of the audience you can, if you are interested, you
Oh,
can also get from there.
can
And
as I
first you
know,
can, yeah. Yeah,
as I
Peijin, go ahead.
know, Naked Farm they used to sell this veggie pack. Beside the Naked
Mm.
Farm, there is also another center in Payang Lepas, but they don't have a shop. It's like a collection point.
Ah, I see. So
Maybe
all we have to
can
do just call
share.
them and order.
They do have. I will share this the link.
Link.
Huh.
Can. Maybe later, you can, we'll get the link from you, then we'll share inside the comment, the comment area. So those
Mm.
of you who are interested, you can just, check out the link and see if you can engage them. Like Peijin said, I think you get from the local produce is actually much more fresh as compared to the one you get from supermarket.
Mm.
Yep. And it's more healthy and not to say more healthy lah, probably less, there's no pesticide and probably it's also a good initiative where you support the local farmers lah. Yes.
Mm.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yes, and yeah, I think Trish also give a very useful tips there. She shop weekly, and yeah, when you shop weekly, it's good that you plan your meal choices well and consider what food will go bad first and soon, like sooner. So make sure you avoid waste lah. So another thing you can practice is whenever you buy food, make sure you put the one that you just bought behind the one that you have already bought. So at least you can have a look. Oh, this is what I have to finish already because I bought this earlier, so I have to finish this first. I think Seng An also mentioned about finish. The tips he always practice is finish whatever that's left over first. So yes, finish whatever that you have bought first. Then after that, only go to the next one that you bought most recently, and then that's how you plan or arrange your kitchen in a way that you can see clearly and avoid food from going bad lah. So thank you so much, Pei Chin, for all the great tips,
Thanks for
and I'm
having
sure
me.
a lot of people have been looking forward to learn more from your new recipe, and yeah, and find out more on how they can actually be creative in that sense. So yes, and those of you, if you would like to follow her on her Facebook or YouTube page, as listed below, you can yeah, check it out. And yes, with that, thank you so much, Pei Chin, for your time to actually
Thank
share this great
you.
tip with us. So later we probably will get the link from you and we'll post it out in the comment area. So those of you who want to find the link, please yeah, follow us later. All right. And thank you, Pei Chin. Please take a for the moment, please take a rest behind the stage. We will move on to the next session. So to our audience, please don't leave first. We still have another session. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. See
All
you.
right. Yeah. Bye, Pei Chin. So yes, to our audience, this is not the end. Like I said, I believe what our guests have shared is actually it stir up some of your curiosity towards food waste. Probably is a good think of like food waste really so serious, man. Like we got so many good tips, to share on how we can be creative, how we can actually explore on this food waste. So now that we are very honored to invite Kelvin Chan from Green Hero to share his experience and insight about the impact of food waste on our environment. So some of the experience that probably he have seen, some of the different side of the world that he have seen that we didn't really realize. So yes, a little background about our next guest, Kelvin Chan. Kelvin basically found his calling at the age of 20. Oh, so young, when he was in the college that time. And since he won this Penang Green Idol in 2016. Yes, Kelvin has been a great friend of us, and he has been collaborating and working with Penang Greenhouse like all this while. And yes, and we from time to time we actually see his passion for the environment grow, and which eventually lead him to set up his own green business that actually he got a chance, got invited to speak in TEDx twice, and he has also won this Malaysia Student Entrepreneur Awards by Entrepreneur Organization that, from there lead him to represent Malaysia, both in Macau and also Singapore. So yes, and he started this Green Hero as a student. So basically, he will explain further on what's Green Hero and what did he do in this Green Hero. So for Green Hero itself, they managed to rescue as much as like 51 meals in 2018 when it first started. What does it mean, rescue meal? Maybe later she will explain further. And then in 2019, they rescue close to 6,000, from 51 meals to 6,000 meal. I don't know how she do it, but later let's find out more. And in 2020, that's where he saved close to 10,000 meal from going to landfill and put into something useful or repurposed food. So without further ado, let us welcome Kelvin to join us on stage. Yes. Hi, Kelvin.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Morning,
It's
morning.
good
Hi,
to have
Kimberly.
you. Morning. Yes,
Thank you,
Kelvin.
thank
So
you.
as I was introducing you, I start to see the figure jumping from every year, and definitely we are interested to, hear more how you actually save this meal. How did this Green Hero actually started, and what do Green Hero do? Please help, please share this with our audience. Probably our audience can get inspired and join your Green Hero movement.
Yes, I can do that. Okay,
All
so
right.
can y'all see my
Yeah.
screen?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay. Awesome. So basically, the reason before I go into the reason, so why I actually dive into the food waste industry is because back in because back in I think 2016 or 2017, I had the opportunity to visit the Pulau Burong landfill. And at the Pulau Burong landfill itself, right, the people or the management over there did share to us that a lot of the waste that Penang has, 45% of it are actually food waste. And he also shared to us that one third of the food waste are actually eatable food that can be prevented. As you can see, right, there's so much food waste at Penang landfill, but why aren't so many people taking into consideration to actually solve this issue, or why aren't we helping each other to really reduce this number of food waste? as you can see every day when you go to as you can see right in Penang, we know that in the before the pandemic, Penang is known as a place where it's a food
Food
heaven,
heaven.
hotels. There were so many
Correct.
events. There was so many food, and a lot of the time, right, whenever after buffet or after wedding dinner, right, there are some food that cannot be so finished, and most of them are just throwing it away. And there's no platform for people to actually call for food rescue. There's no platform for people to actually send this food to somebody who needs it, and a lot of things. And that's why the number of food waste that we throw every day is increasing from year to year, and that's why we really need to do something to really solve this issue. And yeah, so how we actually do that? So today's topic is how can we play a part in reducing food waste. Okay, so but before we go into that, we also need to understand that in Malaysia itself, the number of food waste that we waste daily can feed up to 2 million people for 3 times a day. That's how much food waste, and it's equivalent, okay, to 16 towers of KLCC. This is crazy. And last year itself, it has said that the number of food waste that we waste, it's
Gone
nearly
up.
close to 16 times, that tall of
Oh,
KLCC. And of course, many people, we should, or whenever we saw a problem, right, or whenever we know a problem, we should ask ourselves, is there something that we can do about it? Because when you ask yourself more questions, right, and you are more curious into that problem, you will somehow develop interest and also passion to really solve that environmental issue or
correct,
social
correct.
issue. So that's why I'm always curious with what are the things happening around me. And one of the things that really bring me very close to this is food waste, because it's a big problem, not just in Malaysia, but it's a global world issue. And food waste has said to be the number one waste around the world. So why waste food? And recently Elon Musk also tweeted about it, where they asked about UN, asking UN to actually prove, if I give you $6 billion, can that solve world hunger? Actually, I do agree with Elon, because at the end of the day, right, money does not solve world hunger. But what should we do instead is that we need to fix our supply chain, because our supply chain, right, it's so unstable. A lot of food is lost across the supply chain. And imagine and see, if from the farm itself they harvest 1,000 kg, and then they
When
go
you
through
reach,
four,
okay.
yeah, they go through 4 to 5 channels. Imagine 10% every time, whenever they transport to another place, transport to the warehouse, transport to the supermarket, then only go to the end consumer. Imagine 10% of every time the supply chain, right? 10% of 1,000 kg are losses. How much already at the end of the day? So that's why we really need to fix our supply chain rather than using money, because money does not solve anything. We should rather
Yep,
look into our current
absolutely.
solution, current problem, and see how to fix it. So supply chain is very important. So what is supply chain? Later I'll talk into that. Okay. So this is a statistics taken back in 2018. So as you can see, Penang wastes this amount of kg, nearly 1 million, So you see a Penang population, it's about nearly 2 million, and this is the amount of food waste that we waste daily, and 1/3 are still eatable. So is this right for us to waste food when we know that people in Penang, there are some areas like Padang Tembak, Getah Sanggo area, Bayan Baru area, there are some people who lives in poverty. Is it right for us to waste food when we know people out there that is in hunger? So why not channel this eatable food to those who really needs it, rather than just throwing to the landfill? Because at the end of
Yes.
the day, right, you need to ask yourself, when you feed the landfill, can the landfill say thank you to you or not?
No.
But when you feed people instead, can they say thank you to you? They can.
Yes.
So
I
at
think
the end,
that's more than thank you, right? Like filling their stomach is already a very fulfilling thing.
yeah, and then they will remember you forever for helping them in this dire situation. So that's why more F&B out there, more hotels, more event management companies need to wake up and develop that green mindset, that we shouldn't be throwing away this good food. We should call someone or channel it to somebody who needs it, rather than just throwing to the landfill. So that's why I hope that Penang will one day come out with a policy where we will find people who waste food or throw away eatable food, just like France and also Italy. They have a law over there already. So hopefully that will come true in Penang one day. And in throughout my 3 years of running Green Hero, I found out that there are 4 common reasons of why do we create food waste in Penang itself, or even in Malaysia, by asking our stakeholders, by asking our customers or potential partners. We ask them, right? So most of them told me the number one, right, is the not my fault attitude. So what I mean by this is that, like for example, wedding dinner back in the 2018, 2019, I attended a few wedding dinner. I saw that, whenever it comes to the fourth or fifth course meal, right, the fourth or fifth meal,
People
There's so
cannot finish
many
it.
food, and we can't finish it by the time. And
Yes, yes.
during that time, right, I still remember is that everyone was staring at each other. Hey, you take lah, finish it lah, don't waste food. So everyone was like pointing finger. You should finish it. You should finish it. So if everyone were pointing finger, you should finish it. Or if not, then who's gonna clean up the plate? If no one wants to take it. So at the end, and then the hotel as well also said, oh, since this one is nobody touched the food, right? So my boss told me, or my SOP told me
We
that
cannot keep.
we cannot keep. We have to throw away. So and all this is because of the not my fault attitude. But if we can develop some sense, right, that take responsibility that every eatable food matters, and we should channel it to the right people, to people who needs it, then we can develop a better active community. We need to develop a loving kindness community. We need to develop a community where we think of another person or or the negative impact of whatever actions that we do. So
Yeah.
because we shouldn't be thinking that this is not my problem. Is since I already full, why should I care about what is on the table? Why not I just
Correct.
think to another person, or why not I blame the hotel for producing so much, or even the person who invites me here, or who order up until 7 course meal, why not just reduce to 4 or 5? So when we have that mindset where we point fingers to another, right, this food waste issue can never solve. So at the
Yeah.
end, the environment, right, like right now we are breathing the same air. So if you are pointing finger that is the person's problem, all right, then what?
Eventually, nobody will take responsibility for
Correct. At
that.
the end, it will still affect us. So we need to really stop having the selfish mindset, but rather have the mindset where we look one after another, no matter what background they are, who they are. Because at the end of the day, we only have one home right now, which is Earth. We are breathing the same air. We are drinking water from the same source, and we are eating food from the same soil. So if all of this is polluted, right, then you and I will die. So we must stop having that not my fault attitude, but having the considerate mindset. So this is one of the things. Second is the lack of knowledge. So a lot of event companies, right? Like I would not want to name a few event companies. So back then you will see there's a lot of event companies going around doing open house and all this, right? I asked
Yeah.
some of them, I said, why didn't you actually partner with some NGOs to pass your food to them? Or after the event, some not, some are still eatable, right? Why didn't you call the NGOs to pick up from you? So most of them told me that they don't have time, and then throwing is the easiest way because they don't need to pay their staff OT to deliver food. And then third, it's they are afraid that how to say, people get food poisoning from all these things. So of course I don't blame them, but at the end of the day, if your food is still eatable to be eaten at the event, right, then it shouldn't be a factor that will cause food poisoning when you donate to an NGO. So there must be some kind of regulation or SOP where the event caterer, if they're really interested or really have the urgency to really solve the food waste issue, right, they would develop something over there on their end to make sure that the food is still safe to be consumed before passing over to the NGO. There's always there's a saying that says that when there's a will, there's a way. So it all goes up to the event companies. So and also, yeah, the lack of knowledge. They're not aware that there are food banks out there or food rescue NGOs. So we need to really share this knowledge whenever you know
Correct.
something. Share it with your friends or share it with the event company so that they know what to do with it. And then third, it's inactive participation. So what I mean by here is that what I mean here is that there are a lot of NGOs are doing good, but they sometimes some of these NGOs, right, they don't have the marketing background. But if you so that's why they are not aware of how to reach out to more people. But if you're aware of their work and all this, right, share their work on your social media, because you will never know who will see your post and how it can benefit them. So whenever you see an NGO doing food rescue, whenever you see them doing something great for the environment, share about them on social media. It doesn't take you like a few minutes to do it, or it doesn't cost you any money. Sharing on social media, it's free, and it gives them publicity to reach out to more people. So if you know any food banks, any food rescue, please do share them on social media or any other social organization out there, so that people knows about the existence of this platform and how it can actually help them to solve the issue. And also the fourth one is the supply chain. So the supply chain, what I mean by supply chain here, I'll share to you later on the supply chain. Okay, so this is one of the example, like Kechara is one of the largest, I would say, soup kitchen in Malaysia. They are over in 9 states. So they have been also doing a lot of food rescue, and they channel it to the street people and also to the B40 communities. So Kechara is also in Penang. So if you see anyone that is willing to waste good food, okay, please tell them to call Kechara, because Kechara can actually save it. If not, then you call Green Hero Green Hero will go and rescue it, provide logistic for free, and pass it to NGOs who needs it, like Kachara itself.
As
So
in, sorry, Kevin, as in the good food, as in like the one that's already cooked or the fresh produce? Both also
both
can.
also, yeah, both also can.
Like
Yeah.
after a dinner or party, then not to say dinner or party, like event, then you have a big chunk of food that's
Yeah.
untouched and clean,
Mm.
edible. Then don't throw it away. You can give it to Kachara or Green Hero.
Yeah, we will pass it to the relevant NGO. Like the other day, last week, we have a lot of egg tarts from a dim sum shop. So what we do is that they know Green Hero. They call us up, hey, Green Hero, today we overbake a lot egg tarts. Are you able to channel this egg tart to some homes or not? Then yeah, we said okay. So we pick it up from them and then we call Rui home, and Rui were more than happy to actually receive the surplus egg
Oh,
tart.
that's nice.
Yeah. So we will usually channel, we see what food are they, then we will call up a few of our partners to see whether they want to take in or not. Like for example, last night there was sushi. So the shop make a wrong order because the sushi was supposed to be next week, but they make it early without seeing the timing. So what we did, the shop called us and said, hey Kelvin, we already make about 120 worth of sushi. Are you able to
Whoa, that's a lot.
NGOs or not? Then yeah, then we call up Salvation Army and say, hey, Salvation Army, would you want to have sushi or not? He said, yeah. The children they didn't eat sushi for
Love
a long time. So
sushi.
we just
Yeah.
send it over. So yeah, so any restaurants out there that you know that needs food rescue, you can always call us. We will connect to the relevant NGOs. We won't charge the restaurants any fees, because at the end of the day, I believe this should be free. Because when it's free, right, then restaurants are more willingly to donate their surplus food or even to do this initiative lah. So that's what Greenhill is doing. And so we also bring people to actually pack up the food. So like for example, this Jacob biscuit, right? That time they were expiring in I think 2 to 3 months. There were a lot of it. So what we do is that we pack in all this individual paper bag, and then we give it to the street people in Penang with some breads and also some clothes. So we do. I think that time was in 2018. We do a Hope Street project. So all the Jacob biscuit we repurpose it by distributing with breads and with clothes to all these street people. So that's how we help them to actually reduce their biscuit wastage. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then also about the sharing. So whenever you see something doing good, just share it. It is free. It costs you nothing. It gives them the exposure. And all these NGO, they really rely on your rely on your active participation and also your words of mouth to spread the goodwill of what they are doing. Yeah. Then, yeah, so talking about the supply chain. So as you can see over here, let's just say 1,000 from the farm, 1,000 kg harvested. But each time, 10%, 10% of each time, you can imagine how many kg of food waste, just like 1, 2, 3, about 400 will be lost before it reach to your house. So at the end of the day, the best way, right, is to buy straight from the farm, because in that way, lesser food waste and also
less transportation time.
correct. And then the condition lah, exposed to heat lah,
Environment.
or sometimes even lorry, right? Sometimes when they drive too fast, right, the vegetable would just drop off from the side. Yeah. So that also contributes to food waste as well. So always buy from the farm online as well. Nowadays there's a lot of farm going online. So instead of going to hypermarkets to buy them in plastic, you can tell the farm, hey, if I buy from you, right, can you don't pack in plastic for me or not? They are more than
Pack in
happy
box.
to do so. So so always go for the farm, and that's the more environmental friendly way as compared to what you're seeing right now in the hypermarket. So this is how you make use and also do good lah in by helping the farm to reduce single-use plastic and also at the same time to support them in their locally grown food. Yeah.
Just wondering, Kelvin, does Green Hero also sell like produce like this, like vegetables or fruits?
Yep. Yeah, we do sell that as well. We partner with local farms lah. So both in Penang, KL, we do partner with them, and we tell them that one of the criteria if you want to join Green Hero, you cannot pack them in plastic. You have to pack them in either rubber band or you put them in the recycle bag. Yeah. So that's how
I see.
you get it. Yeah.
So you can check it out. Those of you like our audience who are watching right now, you can check it out on the Green Hero apps.
Yep. Correct. Okay, and so what actually brought me to actually start all these things, right, is because of that one night at Victoria Street. So for those who are watching online, I think you all know where Victoria Street is in Georgetown. So it was back in 2017 when my partner and I were walking down Victoria Street. It was late night. We saw a waiter brought up a black garbage bag and he put beside the bin. So as he put beside the bin, right, when my partner and I walk past by the bin, right, instead of smelling something smelly, we smell something strawberryish. I asked my partner, why is this garbage smell nice one? Then my partner said they could spray air refresher in a garbage bag just to avoid pests. I look at him, are you crazy? Why would they want to do that? So we both argued. I said, never mind. Let me go and check the bag. So when I walked closer to the bag, I opened the bag. My jaw just dropped. I couldn't believe what I saw. What I saw was all the French croissant, cronut, all the good pastries, just inside that bag. So I asked myself, if this cafe can just throw away good pastries, how many other cafes in Penang or Malaysia or around the world are doing the same thing? And that really hurts me so much on that night that when I got home, I couldn't sleep the whole night. I kept on thinking, why this cafe is showing good food? And what can I do to actually solve it? If there's animal shelter out there that is in need of food, if there are people out there who's hungry, why don't we channel it to them? Why do we need to take the necessity to really just throw food like that when people are dying of hunger around the world? So what I did was that I couldn't sleep on that night. I asked Google, what are other countries around the world do to tackle food waste? So it came out 3 countries. They were France, Hong Kong, and the UK. So in France, like, if you were to waste food, you can go to jail or you'll be fined for, I think, 10,000, something like that. Then in Hong Kong, they have an NGO where they have a blaster freezer van. So whatever food they rescue, they will blast freeze it, I think 0 degree or below, and then they bring it back to Sim Sa Hui before they distribute to the urban poor community. And the UK, they have a platform where they get people to buy food at a surplus price, which is much cheaper. Okay? So after getting all of this idea right, I asked myself, what can I do, okay, in Malaysia? How can I bring this 3 inspiration to Malaysia itself? So after attending Magic, that's where I draw out my business canvas model. I turn this into a social enterprise. And of course, after getting all the supplies ready, right, what Green Hero decided to do is that we decided to sell first at the college. Why? It's because that time I was still a student. So I sell to all my friends, and surprisingly, that time, quite a lot of people were buying from Green Hero, and my cafeteria, right, they weren't happy with me, and they even filed a complaint wrote a letter
Really?
to my college management saying that I was stealing away their sales. So the college wasn't happy, and what they did was that they banned me from actually selling in the campus, and yeah, I had to find another way to sell online. So that's where I started to do food delivery back in back in 2018. That's when I started to do
2018.
food delivery. So that's how we pivot, and still, of course, that's how we still manage to sell to our college and still get sales, and also to really get to test the market lah, whether people are really open to buying food surplus at a cheaper price. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, in the early days, we know that we need more customers, and the surplus of food by bakeries, like all those, like bakery, like let's just say, for example, if you go to one bakery at night, right, usually at 9 p.m. you try to go in at 9 p.m. or maybe 15 minutes before
Happy
they
hour.
yeah, usually you will see all the staff ready, right, will take the bread and put in the plastic ready, so you can see what by what. You can ask them, what do you do with the bread in the plastic? Most of them will tell you that they have to throw away. Yeah, because it's the SOP. So so that's why we need more and more customers, because if you want to partner with more bakery, we need to get more customers so that we can sell them at a faster time, sell them at a shorter time, at a cheaper cost. Because whenever the bakery updates us, right, we only have 1 hour time frame to save as much food before it goes to waste. So if our customers don't buy during that 9 to 10 p.m., then after 10, when the shop closes, that's where all the bread will start to go to the bin ready. So what we do is that we prevent that. Also, how do we prevent that? Is that we go from one flat to another. Back in 2018-19, I wrote to a few condo management. They allowed me to actually speak in their community hall, and residents from that condo will come down and listen to the Green Hero idea of how we can actually empower the community to save food, get it at a cheaper price, or channel it to charity. So in the early days, there were a lot of community engagement that we need to build with our customers. Okay. I also gave talks in my college as well. So every new semester, I will always ask my college lecturer to allow me to present in front of the class, so that new students from new intakes are able to know, they are aware that there's a cheaper option if they're on budget to buy food from Green Hero, and also save them at a cheaper price, and also reduce food waste. So that's what we did in the early days. Okay. Then yeah, so these are the type of food. I also goes to in 2018 and 2019 as well. We go from door to door in offices like KWSP Tower, Northern Tower, a few other tower in Penang. We go from office to office, selling from cubicle to cubicle, asking them, hey, would you want to buy some bread? So whenever I go in from office to office, right, usually in within 30 minutes, the bread will be sold off. People will usually call me back, roti boy. So whenever I enter the office, right, they will know, hey, roti boy came ready. Hey, let's go buy his bread. 1 ringgit. So that was the fun old days lah. And then
Yeah.
2018, 2019, I'm also actively in Himbas Depot and also Beach Street. So every Sunday, you will see me in both market where I sell these premium pastries or anything got to do with surplus, just to build up my brand so that more people are aware of what we do. Yeah. Mhm. And cakes as well, all these cupcakes, some bento foods. Mhm. So these are all types of food that we actually provide the merchants, both in Penang and KL, a platform for them to actually sell it at a cheaper price 1 hour before their closing time. Of course, if the merchant wants to put up early, we don't mind, but our minimum requirement is at least 1 hour so that we have enough time to do marketing, we have enough time to do logistic, and we have enough time, okay, to clear as much as we can before all this goes to waste on a daily basis. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there are some bakeries as well. They say, Kelvin, today I don't plan on selling it. Can you come over with a lorry or with a car and arrange to pick up these boxes and send it to any NGOs that you need it? So we do that. We don't charge the merchants. So if the merchants wants us to do it for free, we can do that. So yeah, so that's how we build up our relationship with all our partners. So yeah. So this is so we partner with the Lost Fruit Project, Kechara, many NGOs across Penang and KL as well. Because these two states, right, is the highest state in Malaysia that produce a lot of food waste. Yeah, so that's why we would
Penang and KL.
correct Penang, KL.
Now you have 3 branches, right, in Malaysia.
Yeah, Penang, KL, and Selangor. Correct. Mm. So, so yeah, so this is like so sometimes also so this one is back in 20 last year. So last year, if you still remember, right, a lot of people were doing hoarding during the first MCO. So there were people buying a lot of Maggi, biscuit, cooking oil, if you still remember lah. And then after that, after several months in September, we started to do a food donation drive. We know that there will be people having surplus of groceries at home that they may not be finished before its expiry date. So what we did is that we did a donation drive with Kechara, and surprisingly, a lot of people just gave their food. And this is the amount we collected. And I think at the time we helped about 400 families, 300 to 400 families at Sungai Pinang, and also BM site. We give all these food. So these food are all donated by household. So you can see how many people do food hoarding that time, groceries hoarding
Correct.
during the first MCO.
Whoa.
And yeah, and
Whoa, my
we're
God.
grateful. People are supportive towards this initiative, the food bank initiative, where we channel these surplus groceries to those in need lah. So if you still have groceries that you are not able to consume before its expiration date, you can always call me up or Kechara. We
Yeah.
will send it over. So check your cabinet later. If you have, just give us a call or give Kechara a call, and we will arrange to give it to those who really needs it. Yeah.
Is there any specific like time range? Like at least it has to be 3 months before the expiry date. Then only can you guys will accept, or there's no limit.
Yeah. Best is minimum. It's 2 months lah. Yeah. Correct.
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
According
give like 1 week after 1 week, then it's expired already. Then it's gonna
It's
be
hard.
hard for you guys to. Yeah.
Yep. Why we need at least 2 months? Because we need to gather all the stocks first. Because we want to give the family like me rice, so we need to gather everything nicely and give it to them so
Yes.
that they can last for a month or two. Because if we just give them biscuit, right, then it won't bring much benefits to them. So we'll usually give them like a proper one so that they can actually sustain their family for a month or two. Look. Yeah. So that time, so that coordination will also take us at least 2 weeks already to coordinate everything from A to Z. Yeah. So 2 months is a good question. So at least 2 months would be great. So yeah, food rescue as well, like buns, bread. So all of these are rescued. So whenever somebody wants this not to be wasted, we will channel it. And then also in Penang, we have Mutiara Food Bank. You can also partner with them if you have any corporations or any F&B, like maybe manufacturer or distributor who has a lot of food. You can call up Mutiara Food Bank in Penang, or in KL and Selangor, you can call up Kembara Kitchen, where they will be more than happy to provide the logistic support to get the food from you and channel it to those who needs it. So yeah, so Penang itself has a food bank, so you can actually search them up on Facebook. Okay, and so these are the few ways that extra effort that the public and also the governments are doing to really reduce food waste. So one of it in brickfields. So in brickfields, there's a community where they actually takes in compost. They will take in like all those food waste from restaurant in brickfields, and they will gather it up and all pile it up in this area in brickfields. I kind of forget which area it is. And this committee will just make compost up from all these fruit waste and food waste. Yeah. So this is one. And then second is in Penang, if you all know the new waste transfer station at Batu Mount, we have the
Yep.
biogas there. So this is also another effort that Penang wants to tap into it to see whether they can create electricity, all right, out from food waste. This is a very good initiative because Penang wastes a lot of food, so we need a lot of waste to really reduce it. So if you go to
Yes.
the Batu Mount, this is what you can see. Yeah. Then third as well, below compost machine. So a lot of secondary school right now, MBS, Hengi, then I think Frisco, if not mistaken. So a lot of schools right now in Penang and also KL, they're having this compost machine already, where they will actually encourage their students to actually, or even their canteen vendors to put fruit waste and food waste into the compost machine. This is a good start because also in a school, right, there are 1,000 students. So a
Yeah.
lot of students, so sometimes they are not able to finish their food or
Correct.
can to have fruit scrap. So that's why the headmaster, headmistress see this as a potential that they can invest in a compost machine and bring good to the community rather than creating more food waste for Penang.
So they are
And
processing and make it into fertilizer and sell.
correct, they make it into the fertilizer like the top one, like the soy type. So yeah, then they will use it back into their in their garden. So a lot of schools right now in Penang, they already having their own community garden, which is good. And so they are creating a I would say a circular economy. So whatever they waste, or whatever waste being produced over there, they will use it at the end of the day after
Yes.
converting it to their garden. Yeah. So that's what most schools are starting to see this already. So this is the trend that I think will keep going in maybe decades to come. Yeah. Mhm. Then one more, last but not least, is a checklist. So whenever you go shopping, right, before you leave your house, ask yourself what are the things you want to buy. So in that way, right, you will not overspend or overbuy things that is not on your grocery list. So that's how you control yourself to become a responsible consumer. SDG number 12. Yeah. Mhm. So these are also a few things. So we also rescue fruits as well. We turn them into juice. So whenever you see fruits being sold at cheaper price in supermarkets or market, try to buy them as well because at the end they are sold maybe 10 cent, 20 cent, and these are all they cannot sell at high profit. So if they can't sell at high profit, like why not you buy them even though they are odd looking shade, they are black spots a bit. So you can actually save them and turn it into juice, turn it into ice cream, or turn it into gelato, or even fruit salad. So at the end, it's all about awareness. So we need more people to be aware that we shouldn't be really picky on the fruits we choose, but rather we should repurpose it whenever we can. I know some people may have different mindset, but to me, I feel that if the fruit is still eatable, why not we turn it into something meaningful like ice cream or juice, like as mentioned. Yeah. Mhm. So at the end of the day, what I want to see, what Green Hero would like to see is that we hope that Malaysia can actually reduce fruit waste and also at the same time to come up a law as well, same as France and Italy, where we find, okay, F&B, the hotel industry, event companies, where we find them for actually wasting food because this is the fastest way. Because I know that a lot of people say we shouldn't be creating a negative reinforcement. We should create some initiative for that. But for Penang, right, I would say not for Penang, but for Malaysians, if we don't find them, they will not be taking steps to really prevent it. Like even last time the mask as well, if we don't put up a fine, right, people will not be so that people will not be more than willingly to follow the SOP. Right now, if you put up a fine, people will adhere to it. So that's why I hope that the law will come through one day in Malaysia so that we can see a drastic change in the food waste industry. Because right now, even though there are 50 over NGOs across Malaysia that tackles the food waste issue, it's still not enough. The number of food waste every day, it's increasing from time to time. So a law will do good. Yeah.
Something that we have to look into. Yeah, work in hand.
Yeah. So almost end to the session already. So how to be a food rescue? If you were to ask me, I believe everyone watching here, this is some few steps that you can take it. So volunteer your time. So most of these NGOs like soup kitchen, food banks, they rely on volunteers. So if you have time, You can volunteer yourself and see behind the scene of how many good food are being wasted on a daily basis, and to see how many people are living in poverty. So when you expose yourself to all this real situation, right, and real experience, you will somehow be more committed to actually address and solve this issue. So that's how I really got into this, because if it wasn't for that night where I witnessed food waste, and if it wasn't for myself to involve in all these environmental issue, right, I would not have been able to develop the interest to actually to be part of the food rescue movement. So yep, volunteer time is a good one. Okay. So next is as well, share your food banks to your companies or to any F&B distributor out there. Let them know that there's a platform for them that actually accept this food surplus or close to expiry food. So don't destroy food that is going to don't destroy food that is going to expire, but rather if they don't have a channel it to these 4 food banks that is in Malaysia itself. Okay, and then another one is that most of these NGOs, right, they rely on public funds to sustain themselves. So every month, like for me, I will usually allocate 5 to 10% of my salary, and I will donate it to an NGO or to a food rescue movement, to a food bank, where they can sustain the operation. So 5 to 10% isn't much from the salary. So if you can do it, at least minimum 5%, support an NGO so that they can create a bigger impact, reach out to more states in Malaysia, or reach out to more people, or even do more collaborative advertisement with other F&B to get them on board. So this is what you can do. So money is always a main factor that all these NGOs are facing. So if you can put 5 to 10%, that will make a big difference for these NGOs and food rescue movement to grow even bigger in Malaysia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then last but not least, it's to refer merchants. So if you see, like in your own neighborhood, right, I believe there are bakeries, there are restaurants. So if you see your own neighborhood that they are wasting good food, don't be shy. Okay, to ask them, why not partner with Green Hero? Why not partner with Kachara Soup Kitchen? Why not partner with somebody who can actually rescue this food? Because at the end of the day, you need to know that we shouldn't be shy when we are providing a solution, a good solution which solves their problem. So we shouldn't be doing that. So don't be shy whenever you're doing good for the environment, but rather be proud that you're actually connecting this merchant to someone who can actually help them solve their main headache on a daily issue. Yeah. Okay. So this is a happy hour. So if you're interested to know what Green Hero has on their happy hour platform, you can actually scan this. So this scan will actually bring you to a WhatsApp group where we post daily updates of the food initiative. No, sorry, about all the food menus that we have, and also some green tips. So from day to day, you are able to see green knowledge. We will also educate you, share you green knowledge, where you become a green hero. Yeah, so that you can help more people to become green heroes, so that we can see a greener Malaysia. Right, so this is the WhatsApp group that you can choose to join. So we have Penang Island, mainland, Selangor. So you can choose the group accordingly and join. All right. So I think that's all from me. And I'd like to end this with a quote. I have said I don't want to protect the environment, but what I want is that I want to create an environment where the environment does not need protection at all. Yeah. Thank you. That's from me.
Thank you so much, Kelvin, for your insightful sharing. And I believe now our audience have already got it's very inspired. Like I can see the comments flowing through from time to time, and how what you have done, not only filling up people's stomach, but also putting a smile on those people who doesn't get a chance to eat sushi in their daily life, and you are sort of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, saving the food and as well as putting a smile on people's face. So I think that's really amazing, and I hope that those of our audience who are watching live session with us right now, please help us to support what Green Hero is doing, and not only Green Hero but the rest of the food rescue organization they are doing, because they will definitely need your support in terms of spreading the words to more people. So with this, now we're open to the floor for any questions. But because we are running out of time, probably we'll just take a few. Meanwhile, I would just like to announce something that, it will be good if to our audience, if you are watching live right now, please help us to fill up a feedback form. Okay. So you may either scan the QR code, which will appear on the screen later, or click the link that will be shared in the comment area in a short while. So this feedback form mainly is to help us to understand better on how we could actually improve our future upcoming live stream. So in return, this is what you will receive. You will receive an e-discount coupon code. So probably you'll get the code for any purchase under Green Hero apps. Okay, special thanks to Kevin Chan and also Green Hero for sponsoring this amazing coupons to us. So you will get the coupon codes at the end of after you fill up this form, okay, feedback form. So all you have to do, just scan, or you cannot scan, you can just click the link in the chat in the comment area, and then they will lead you to a Google form. That's where you fill up. Yeah, we value very much on your feedback. And yes, please help us to do so, and that's where you get the coupon code. Okay, so this coupon code is valid until December 2021. So you can buy anything. You can just go through the apps, explore a bit. Okay, so Kelvin, I think as you shared along, there's a question from New Love Key. She's asking about what would you say to the young people who encounter food waste issue for the first time? I'm sure you have dealt a lot with the food, youngster, and probably it's something new to them. What would you say to them, being at this age?
Yeah. So what I would say it's to young people is that there are some families out there who lives in poverty area may not have good food like what you're eating every day on the table. So why not appreciate the food that has been given to you? And if you see anyone else out there is wasting food, try to wasting good food, try to correct them if you can by sharing them about all the NGOs good work out there. Because at the end of the day, we need to have more people sharing green knowledge so that the community can be more empowered, and also at the same time they know where to go. So if the young people out there who wants to solve this food issue, be educated on the green initiative that is available in your own state, and try to partner them up to relevant NGOs who can do the food rescue. Yeah.
Definitely. Are you still recruiting young people or young volunteer? Just a question. If they are interested, probably they can drop you an email or something like that.
Yep. I think we can work something out definitely, because right now we are also expanding to Ipoh, so we do need some manpower. You can work virtually. So at the end, it's all like for me. I'm mostly in Penang, but my operations are both in Penang and KL. So how we do the hiring all is through virtually as well. Yeah.
Amazing. So to those, if actions speak louder than word, rather than asking like how you can actually solve this, or find out more after you find out more about this. I think it's better that you straight away involve, and that's where you get more, exposed to more of this issue and get a more holistic picture of how is it about and how you can involve and be a contribute more to this, if this is something that hit you the most, I would say. Thank you so much, Kelvin. And yes, I think since now it's already 12:05, then I think that's where we will stop right now here. So of course, to our audience, if you still have any question to our Green Hero, to Kelvin, from time to time, if you want to hear more of the interesting sharing from Green Hero, do check out on our Eco Talk program. So that's where you can find out more about our Eco Talk program on Penang Green Council or on Green Hero social media page. Because we will, Green Hero is actually one of our educational partner. So in a way that we do, Green Hero do provide, different topics of talk sharing about food waste issue. So that's the web banner. So you can just engage us by filling out the form, and then we will contact you soon once you fill out the form. So invite us to speak in your event or in your program. We'll be happy to do so, whether from Penang Green Council or Green Hero. So you can get all this link under this social media, Penang Green Council or Green Hero. So lastly, thank you so much, Kelvin, and also to our audience for staying with us throughout the whole session. Remember to fill up the feedback form and get your coupon code, okay? So we hope that all of you learned something useful, not only from Kelvin, but also from Pei today, and have a nice weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelvin. Yes. And lastly, I think after we say thank you, we will play a short video, just titled, "Which type of food waster are you?" So we'll play the teaser. So if you want to watch the full video, you can go to our YouTube or Facebook page, Penang Green Council. Okay. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, the rest.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Stay safe, everyone. Take care. All right. So.
其實平常時我都可能無感覺到我啲拍算物件食，所以今日我想要甲大家講拍算物件食有偌嚴重。個人本知檳榔嘅物件是死白好食，無管你是想要食番哪食，還是長人食，假是今年哪食，到了本會大這邊吹掉，就是因為安尼拍算物件食嘅問題愈來愈嚴重。大檳榔廚餘就佔了40% 的3百。等我來看這個 video 看到底尾，看下你是唔是即時裝拍算物件食嘅人。最後你會使到檳榔 Green Council 嘅 Facebook、Instagram 加 YouTube 找到這個 video。